Alright guys, how are we doing? I'm going to do just some quick analysis. I want to keep this video kind of short and just do some quick analysis on some altcoins real quick. So right now I'm looking at ZRX, and ZRX, just as I was starting this video, just started taking a dive right here. As you can see, we're really down below these bottom limits here. This is on the Stoch indicator, already down to about 5 on the K fast line. So we're really swooping down. This is as low as we've been up here on the RSI for quite some time, since all the way back where was this? All the way back August 14th. So we're really taking a dive right now. And what's interesting to me is that while there's very little volume down here, which is causing it to go down that far, what's interesting to me is that when we look back in terms of where there's major historical volume, we're not really down into the very low points yet. So what I want to take notice is just kind of figure out, you know, like where we might be going in terms of a larger trend here. It seems like we're really just on, if I go to a 1 day, you know, we almost had this, basically this double top here. Up here, we pretty much just hit it with a wick and we broke it slightly up here. This is, you know, really, you know, just classic Vegas wave right here. And we went into a smaller one here. Now we're retracing. And, what it looks like to me is, you know, off of this last really big trend here from the high to low, you know, we already broke through, you know, this historical support. If you take a look at this volume over here on the side, this is some of the highest that there is historically, was at this level, where this you know, golden pocket is at about 11,000. The only other time that it's been that high is way up here near you know, near the 0.5 marker, where it's at almost 14,000. Now that we've broke through that, and you know, we actually just broke through our 786, it's not looking too good right now. We're starting to reach areas that that there's not really too much support going on. And what I'd like you to take notice of is if you actually go one trend over in terms of the Fibonacci, and you bring that over here from this swing high to this swing low, we've also still broken through the 618. However, we are only just testing the 786 right now. And then of course you can bring that over one more time down to here, and off of this first main impulse that we had back, you know, obviously in December and stuff, while we were in that major impulse and everything was skyrocketing, that's where we're actually testing this golden pocket right now. So the real question is if this is gonna hold, you know, where are we gonna come up from here? Well, based off of this main trend, and I'm gonna like to base it off of this, just because this setup kind of makes a little more sense to me. You know, when we come, oops, let me delete that. If we come over here, and we do one of these, and the reason why I'm doing that is because this is not complete yet. We might be going down further, so I don't want to mark this as a bottom yet, because we're not sure if that is. So with this last trend right here, you know, from swing low to swing high, you know, if we're bouncing off of here, you know, I would definitely want to call, you know, this 0.5, which is actually part of the larger trend. I would call that our first target. This is the spot where we need to get to. We need to get to 10,000 sats. So if we can make that happen, then I think that we would actually be in pretty good shape. I can't find my I don't know where the tool is for it. I can never find the tools that I need when I need them. All I want to do is draw a fucking arrow. Alright, whatever. Anyway, I was just going to draw an arrow up You know, I'm hoping that this right here, you know, would be like our bounce area, and that we're going to come up over here. That would be my prediction. I mean, even on this day chart, we're starting to really get into oversold territory. The stock is all the way at the bottom, and it looks like it's about to cross bullish, which is a good thing. For me personally, this is where I would actually place a medium-sized long position here, and you know, because this is going to have plenty of room to bounce back, and we're actually reaching the point of like our last major support area here, right in this little golden zone. So I think that we're actually not looking too bad for this. I would say that 10,000 would probably be our mark. So moving on, let's go ahead and take a look at ICX right now. ICX, pretty much the same story on the day chart. We've had this long slope down. It looks like just a big, you know, downtrend channel here. You know, going from, that's wrong. Hold on. Where we go? We went from here. This whole thing got all messed up. Yeah, there we go. We had this long downtrend channel, and it was just really not looking too great. So what ended up happening was we ended up breaking out of this, and God, man, my chart is all jacked up today. I gotta fix my mouse. There we go. Anyway, we ended up breaking out of this downtrend channel, and it's looking like if I zoom out here, and I extend this down, it's actually looking like we might come close to re-entering this. We're looking to test it at support right now, which may or may not be a good thing. So going from swing high over here to this last low that we had, you know, we're down in here pretty deep. Part of the lower, you know, smaller trend, we're starting to get again into areas of lower volume here. But as we're starting to go down again, that this stock is, you know, starting to slope back upwards. I think that this would be a good potential area to start having a bounce here. Since we're testing this 786 of this lower trend right here. So that's, you know, we're facing support right now at about 900 sats. I would call our first target probably up here at the 236. This 236, that's actually the level of this smaller trend, and then we would probably pull back to this 0.5 zone at around 1100. So this would also be potentially a good spot to open up a position, but I would have a pretty tight stop loss on this, considering you know, what's been happening in the past. But this is basically how all of the altcoins look right now. So heading over to EOS, I'm making these kind of quick and to the point, guys. I'm not trying to be making 30-minute videos all the time. They're too long and too hard to watch, so I just want to go over them pretty quickly. This EOS right now, we're already starting to bounce, and we're in a really solid area of support here. This is really what I like to see right here. Is exactly this. This is a sweet place to be. Right here in this little support zone. We're actually kind of testing it historically, but I guess, well, you could actually move that down a little bit. You know, so we're kind of bouncing off of this. That would probably line up with a fib level. So here's our main trend, and we're looking to get up here from the main trend up to about 11,000. That's going to be a longer term move right there. That's going to be a longer term thing. I'd say probably over the next couple weeks or so, we'll see that starting to bounce. And again, you know, that support level of the smaller trend, boom, lines right up with this golden zone, and we're looking at you know, coming up here shortly to test you know, this 8200 area. We just need a little more buy power to do it. The buy power is just about evened out with the sell volume at this level. So what we're trying to do is just push our way up just a little more, that we can get past this golden zone, you know, at around $7,800 that we can push up into, you know, 8,500 and 8,200 and get into this zone right here, which would be a really good place for us to be able to retest and start moving upwards. Stotch is already crossed on this, which is a good sign. We're still continuing upwards. However, the RSI just started sloping downwards with this big bearish candle that we've had, but this doesn't read to me as super bearish right now. It really doesn't. It looks like, you know, this is another one where we had you know, one of these you know, downward you know, parallel channels here. I don't know why I just did that. We got this downward parallel channel, and oh my god, my mouse keeps messing up today. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. We had this downward parallel channel. It was actually a little higher than that. You know, we tested the bottom, we came up, we bounced off the top. We've just been bouncing back and forth all the way down until we finally reached below our support level, and thank God we bounced back up. We were in this kind of like no trade. It looks like whenever things like this happen at near a bottom, I just consider that a no trade zone. This definitely would have been no trade for me until we would have reached somewhere like here, where this line, where these crossed, and it crossed bullishly. This for me, when this line crossed, still kind of would have been iffy, because I mean, you've got bullish hammer, spinning, top, bullish hammer. I probably maybe would have entered on this last one here, but still, I mean, that's still, you know, waiting for confirmation, because those are red candles. So I mean, this would have been a good entry, but I mean, if you were able to call that, I mean, I don't know exactly how, but you know, if you were able to get in on that, that's great. And take a look up here. If you notice, bullish candle right at the top when we arched down, bounced, boom, right off of that 55 EMA line. And we had bullish support at this 236 mark, which is about 9,000. But we just couldn't hold that, and we had this long drop down. And we've just been kind of bouncing around, playing in this little support area, just slightly higher from where we were before, kind of staying in between the 618 and the 786 level. So there's good support in here, but we're going to need just a little kind of, bulls need to just have a kick in the ass to just really come up. And I would say that a solid first target for this would probably be 500, but I wouldn't be throwing all of my money at this right now. That would probably only be maybe a 5% or 10% portfolio trade for me. Let's go ahead and take a look at ADA real quick. As you can see, I have nothing previous on any of my charts. I've started a new account on my trading view here. You know, logged in as Cobra Trading instead of Crypto Kenobi. So I went through, I'm redoing, in the process of redoing all my charts and everything. So just kind of bear with me as I keep doing analysis and stuff. Obviously, all of these indicators and everything, all of this stuff will stay here, and you know, we can kind of track, and I can kind of, you know, keep track of exactly, you know, what we've been doing. ADA is still in a solid free fall. I mean, this has just been a lot of pain. Just really painful, constantly just everybody's just catching knives on this from the get-go. All the way back to May, bam, we had our first drop. We thought that we had pulled back all the way, you know, literally 2 weeks later, less than a week later, bam, our 55 EMA crossed over, and we just went in a solid free fall from there. It's just been nonstop. It's kind of, you know, I really don't like trying to catch bottoms. That's not really my style. But I mean, now we're starting to get to the point of, you know, I don't want to call it the point of no return here, because ADA is a solid tech, and you know, it's a really solid coin. But you know, this level of support that we're actually at right now, you know, I mean, you draw a line straight across here, right where the price line is, and you know, I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know, where we've come from. This last major trend, you know, we've already, you know, surpassed this by a long shot. You know, we were looking down to coming back and, you know, retracing, you know, more than 100%, you know, from where, you know, this had originally started. I don't think that we're going to end up coming down here. I mean, that would pretty much, you know, devaluate the coin and make it worth nothing. We've already reached our low, as far as I can tell, in terms of the Stoch and the RSI. This is pretty much as oversold as it gets. As you notice, I'm not really going in much further than a day chart. I try to get the bigger picture on things. If we do go in a little further here, just to get some more information on this, you can see right now that, you know, still super bottomed out on this RSI. You know, I mean, this is pretty much as low as you're gonna go on that. But still, you know, at critical support. This down here is a good sign that the Stoch is crossing over. So I'm very excited about that. Hopefully we can turn this around soon. And in terms of target for this last you know, little swing that we had down to this this, what is that, like a dragonfly doji? I don't even know. That looks more like a long leg doji to me. But anyway, I mean, our first target, we definitely at least have to break through this major support and at least try to climb our way up to you know, this next little area of support here at the 236 at about 1175. So that would definitely be my first target here. Let's see if I can get a little circle going or something. All of my tools on my favorites bar were gone, so I only added the ones that I use the most. But now I'm starting to realize that I use a whole bunch of other tools way more. But whatever, I'll find them all later. This would be my first target here. This would be maybe a medium-sized position for me. Just a lot of indecisiveness in what this coin wants to do and what the volume's going to want to do right now. This is kind of our last resort here. If this doesn't hold, then I would be very careful. I mean, if you're already in a loss, I obviously wouldn't I obviously wouldn't sell it. But you know, we really need this area to hold to kind of pop back up and come and test 1175 again. So moving on, last coin I'm going to do today is Neo. This coin, you know, again, pretty much in the same position. Everything has just been tanking very hard. This Stoch is starting to curve back up, so we could potentially see a reversal here pretty soon. We're starting to get at a level that's you know, is pretty historic here. We already broke through this 786, and from here down, you know, we're looking at coming up to test. We would need to come up to test this again. This would be our first our first target here. This is against USDT. I found that most traders like to trade this against Tether, so that's what I'm going to be analyzing this on. That's why it's not against Bitcoin. But there's a high level of support here. This is a very highly traded area. That's why we free fell from here. So far, there just wasn't any more buyers and sellers at this point. So I think we're going to play around here in the sand for a little bit, but I think we are due for a small bounce soon, at least to test this this $17 or $18 mark. Currently, we're at about just over $17. This would be about 18 right here at this mark. So we're looking to climb back up into the $18 range and just kind of find our, you know, our support there, which you know, has always been pretty much right here. You know, that lines up perfect. You know, if you keep looking left, you know, for the past you know, since the beginning of August, you know, that's been a critical level. If we zoom back farther, well, you know, we've never reached this level before, which is unfortunate. So unfortunately, most of the coins that are alts, you know, we've really been seeing some new lows that nobody ever thought that we would see, but it's good. It's shaking out the weekend, and it's really reevaluating most of these altcoins and all of these you know, ICOs. It's really reevaluating their worth and shaking out the real trash coins. And I'm not saying that any of these coins that I did would be considered shit coins. They're not. That's why I analyze them. I don't analyze shit coins. But I think that this is a good thing, what the market is doing and correcting itself. You know, if we see, you know, more lows on Bitcoin, if we see newer lows here, which I think we might be heading to, you know, after we get our little mercy bounce here, we're probably going to head up and see this area right here. at the 66 mark or so, we're probably going to bounce up. And, you know, after we're finished testing 6,400, if we can break through that, our next level that we're looking for is 6,600. If we can hold that level, which would be good, you know, the trading volume is there. If we can hold that that level, then, you know, we should be in pretty good shape. This just crossed, but that's not to say that, you know, we got this little spinning top here. Who knows what's going to happen, you know, by the end of the day in come a couple hours here. It's 5:30 Eastern time. Coming in a little closer on the 4-hour chart, you can see there's this huge break. This is what I'm worried about, guys, is right here. This is a huge break in volume, and this is why this level broke so quick. Once the shorts stacked up here at this level, that's when you know, the bulls just got crushed, and it went into a free fall, because from you know, about 6,800 down to about, you know, 64.5, there's just no trade volume at all, because we've always pretty much jumped right past this point. This was a pretty solid increase right here. It was exponential. It went up pretty quickly. There wasn't too much trade volume. There wasn't very much resistance from the bears there. So when the bears came to suppress the price and push it back down, they had a really easy job to do, because we didn't have any underlying bull support and buying power in this level. So once we came back down, it was just free fall. And we tried, you know, we got back up above one resistance level, and we played around in here in the sand for a little bit. And then you know, once the other day all those long positions got liquidated, we free fell. And, you know, we had, you know, dragonfly doji, spinning top. Finally we had I just call that a bull block. And then you know, luckily we got some shorts liquidated that kind of boosted us up. And then, you know, we got this little doji here, little kind of harami here, and then we came back down. We've been bouncing around in this area ever since, and most of these have been bullish candles. You know, you've got bullish hammer, doji, bullish hammer, and, you know, now we've got this other, you know, little candle trying to form here that's going to be done in 2 hours. So we'll see what happens on the next candle, and I'm hoping that, you know, we can finally make a push up to 64.25. So we'll see what happens. That's really all I got for you today, folks, in terms of altcoins. I'm going to come on and do different altcoins. I'm going to try and make a video of altcoins every day, every other day or so. And like I stated before, Bitcoin analysis I'm going to do about 1 day a week, just because you know, I mean, this has been a real process here. We're going to be down here for a while. I don't think we're going anywhere anytime soon. Whenever the stochastic indicator is sitting here in the middle, you know, this is always kind of, you know, iffy for me. When we're bouncing around here in the middle, I normally only take trades when we're crossing at the bottom or crossing at the top. You know, like this would have been an entry for me. Obviously, you know, I wouldn't have been only relying on this, but you know, like this definitely would have been a sell for me up here. You know, with all these candle rejections, reject, that's smaller and smaller candles. I mean, that just screams, you know, that just screams get rid of your order, you know, and cash out. These 3 candles up here, that just screams cash out. So I feel really bad for the people that missed this, or they were stuck in a trade overnight or something and they missed this, you know, getting out. They lost a lot of money on this. It's unfortunate, but there's always another trade to make. You can always get your money back. So, you know, unless you're in BitConnect or something. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like more information like this, and you'd like to see the information that I had about the scalp indicators for short time frame scalping on BitMEX and stuff like that, those are exclusive to our Discord members. You got more information on tcpmedia.org on that, or you can DM me or Honestly Crypto for more information. We've got all brand new admins that are really experienced traders and really good at technical analysis as well, and a lot of educational resources in our Discord group as well. And we also have a free Telegram group that's listed on Honestly Crypto's website. So feel free to check all that out. DM me if you guys have any questions. I hope you all have a fun and safe day, and I will talk to you guys later. Happy trading.